Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to the Bosscast, hosted by your very own Ajay Tillon. Today, we have an entrepreneur, a real estate mogul, and a digital marketing expert in the building. He's amassed millions of views on social media, sold billions of dollars of real estate, and is now on a mission to impact hundreds of thousands of lives through leadership, mentorship, and holding a strong vision for the future. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the one, the only, Bikram Dosanjh. Welcome to the building, brother.
Bro, geez, what an intro, honestly, bro. I thought I was loud. You're fucking loud, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's a pleasure having you here. Your time is very valuable, and I want to make sure we have a very valuable episode for our audience. So we want to get right into the value.
Let's go.
First off, I know you. A lot of people know you on social media. I would love a quick 2-minute breakdown of who Bikram Dosanjh is.
I mean, very simple, man. I'm a regular kid. I'm a regular kid that wasn't good at school. I was always told that I wasn't going to become successful from a lot of my teachers, to be honest, because I just wasn't good at school. And one of those things that I look back and reflect on it is just maybe, it didn't interest me. It didn't interest me. And if you're different, that's your unique character, right? But one thing that I'll say is that the reason why I never kind of doubted myself is because my parents, no matter what, always kind of backed me up, right? Always had confidence in me. So my childhood always just taught me that whatever I put my mind to, I can accomplish, right? So that's kind of where I start. My dad, you guys might know him, Bob Dosanjh Singh, right? He's been such a role model for me, but I've seen him struggle. Right? A lot of people don't know the story. It's actually pretty crazy because people will message on some of my videos and be like, yeah, it's easy when your dad's wealthy, right? But you guys don't even know the story. My dad's not wealthy. My dad was not wealthy. The difference was that I'll tell you guys the whole story today, right? So, growing up as a kid, my dad worked at a donut shop, baking donuts, factory job. My mom worked 2 factory jobs a day, right? So I seen them struggle, but I always wanted more. I was just one of those kids that wanted more, right? So seeing them struggle, just lit some fire under me, right? From a kid. So I started doing random hustles from like childhood, right? Just to make money. Different things, lemonade stands, everybody knows the basic stuff outside of a church, did all that stuff. My mom used to find me with some cash, well, what the hell are you doing, right? So I started with that. Used to buy clothes from flea markets, believe it or not, sell it back at school, right? I used to DJ when I was younger. So back in the day where you couldn't, get CDs and stuff, I used to go on LimeWire. You guys remember these apps? Not even apps, websites. Download a bunch of tracks, put them on a CD, go to a Staples, duplicate that CD to 20 CDs and go sell it at school, right? So I've always been an entrepreneur. But the reason is because I always wanted to make money because we didn't come for money, right? So my dad gets into opening up a donut shop, call it. Starts doing well, starts supplying coffee time, 52 coffee times at one point. And he's doing well, right? But here's the thing with traditional business, and this is the one thing that I learned. You could get wiped out very quick, right? What happened was, you guys know Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons everywhere today. But in those days, Tim Hortons was not really that popular. But what did Tim Hortons do? They came and they dominated the market, took out coffee time. So my dad's business pretty much collapsed right away. Got to a point where it's literally at bankruptcy, right? About to lose everything. And he never kind of told us, but I was old enough to kind of know. And I remember being at home and reading a letter that, maybe I should not have opened, but I'm so happy I did because that's what lit the fire, right? I read a letter that our house was going to go on power sale. And that was the day I decided that I was going to do whatever it takes to help my dad, right? And, you guys maybe heard of AVP Studios, right? So that was one of the things that my dad did on the side to make money. So I started helping him in the wedding business. My dad used to do small weddings, low budget, low gigs, never got the high-end weddings. So I decided to go learn the skills. And what did I learn? I learned how to edit, right? I learned Photoshop. I learned, in those days, there was a program called Velocity. For anyone that knows it, you can go Google it. That was the program back then. I learned the game. Long story short, started helping my dad. Within 2 to 3 years, became one of the biggest wedding vendors in the business. That's the business that saved us from losing everything that we had. From there, the real estate journey starts because, I'm thinking like, am I going to take over the wedding business, right? And how far can it go? So I was fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with my dad, and being in Brampton, being in the community, I started to see a lot of uncles driving nice cars. And guess what? They had one thing in common. They're all in real estate, right? So this is like 17, 18-year-old Bikram. And I'm like, my dream's always to have nice cars, right? I wanted an S-Class, that was the dream. So I remember being at Jonathan E. Banquet Hall, the original one, and I'm helping my dad. I'm setting up the DJ equipment. That's what I did, right? Like, I didn't have no weekends. I just helped my dad, right? And some guy pulls up, and he's driving an S550 brand new. And I go to my dad. I'm like, Dad, what does that uncle do? He's like, real estate de vecha, right? So that's where it kind of started, right? But I remember I was a very shy, not confident type of guy, okay? Definitely couldn't be on a podcast like this. I was just shy, right? So real estate gets planted in my head. Then I just start watching a bunch of videos on real estate. Everyone's probably seen $1 Million Listing, all these type of things. I used to watch season 1 and I'm like, if these guys can do it, why can't I do it? So I started pulling out my calculator because those that know me, I'm always on a calculator. And I started realizing if I sell a house, how much money can I make? And on average, it was like 5 to 10K commission. So then another one of my dad's friends goes, Bikram, just get your real estate license. But at this point, I've enrolled to go to university, right? So I'm going to university. I'm at York. It's 2008 to become a lawyer. And the reason was because I was like, okay, there's 3 occupations that do pretty well. You guys already know it, doctor, engineer, and lawyer. We've heard this so many times. Definitely was not going to become a doctor. Had no interest in engineering. But I'm like, you know what? I kind of like law. I could become a lawyer. One of my cousins was a lawyer. So he was one of the cousins in our family that you could say escaped the traditional path of everybody else, became successful Bay Street lawyer. So I started looking at his lifestyle, right? I'll just tell you guys, I follow the money, okay? So I started looking at his lifestyle and I'm like, yeah, he's making a lot of money, but this guy's working crazy hours, right? And how many years will it take before I get like 100, 200K? I realized it's going to take years, right? And 8 years of school. Now, I believe in God a lot and I believe things happen for a reason. York University goes on strike. 2008, I got 6-7 months of no school. So every day I'm with my dad. Every day I'm seeing more real estate uncles. Every day I'm seeing more S classes. And one of my dad's really good friends, we're at Dixie Gurdwara actually, and he goes, "Tu license lala," right? It's 3 exams. It's easy, this and that. I said, you know what? Let's just do it. I got nothing else to do. I enroll my real estate exams, get my license done. This is now the end of 2010. We're into like December 2010. And I get into real estate thinking it's going to be easy. Right? I'm like, it can't be that hard. Yeah, it was hard, right? Like 6-7 months showing people houses all over Brampton, doing 0 deals, pretty much a free taxi driver before Uber. So I was literally driving people to properties and then they would buy the property from somebody else. And I was young, right? You learn over time, right? But I almost quit, almost give up because now York's going back to school and I'm about to go back, okay? And I happen to be at another place, right? Where I meet someone that's like 30 something years old, doing extremely well in real estate, okay? And I start to think, wow, if this guy can do it, why can't I do it, right? So what happens is somebody introduces me to somebody by a phone call, puts me on the phone call with this guy, and he's my first mentor. So when you guys hear me talk about mentors, this guy was the first guy. If I never met him, I probably would not be doing what I've done. I wouldn't be doing, I don't know where my life would have gone, right? So I get on a phone call with him. And if he's watching this, his name's Adnan. So shout out to you. Changed my life, okay? Literally changed my life. So I meet him by phone first, talk to him. The guy's completely different than everybody that I know in my circle, including my dad's friends, right? And what I mean by that is he was just talking different, right? And I'm like, this is a guy I got to go learn from. And he goes, Bikram, you know what you should do? You should come work with me and you should come sell Toronto real estate, sell downtown Toronto. And I'm going to be honest. I was like, how the hell am I going to sell downtown Toronto? Remember, I'm 18 years old, right? I've barely been to downtown Toronto, right? Straight up. Now everybody goes out, but in those days, you didn't really have money to go out. You didn't really go out, right? So I just asked him, can I come meet you tomorrow? He goes, yeah, let's come to my office, right? So he had opened up a brand new brokerage at that time, and it was just him, his assistant, and maybe 2-3 other agents, small boutique operation. I go meet him. He's actually having a meeting with a client, but he allows me to sit in. Okay, so I sat in the meeting, and I was just like, wow. The guy's mindset was completely different, right? And he was about to go show a condo in downtown Toronto that was like 1.5 million, right? 2010, guys, right? You could buy a house in Brampton for 300K straight up, right? So I was like, wow. It was just wow. It was just a whole different world. I'd never been exposed to this, right? I know you said 2-minute intro, but I'm giving you the full intro,
you're good.
right?
Take your time.
So I roll with him. I go downtown Toronto first thing. He's got a brand new Porsche Panamera. So I'm like, this is when nobody had a Porsche Panamera. And the way he's talking to the client on the way to downtown, he's not selling. He's painting a vision. This is where I learned, right? Paint a vision. Storytelling. Storytelling sells without you selling, right? So I learned the art of selling by being around this guy. I end up joining his brokerage the next day. Now we roll into like 2011 January. Okay. So I'm 6-7 months in real estate, $0, zero sales. I'm actually in debt because I do the traditional things. Take people out, network, take them for, like all these things that I'm racked up on credit cards by taking people out. Made no money, right? So he goes to me, he goes, Bikram, this is the day it changed. He goes, Bikram, what's your goal? I'm like, my goal is to make 100 grand, 6 figures. He literally looked at me and goes, like 100 grand is nothing. And we've got to remember, I come from a family where 100 grand's a lot of money, right? And he looked at me, goes, 100 grand's nothing. He goes, you think too small. And he was so direct, right? And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, you can't do nothing with 100 grand. He goes, you got to think at least $1 million. He goes, he's like, you can make $1 million. So he put it into me that I could make $1 million. I never thought I could make $1 million at that time. I'll be honest, right? So long story short, learning from him, flip my mindset. He's the guy that kind of taught me on how to take a big goal, reverse engineer it. That's why if you've seen some of my videos, I take a calculator and I break down the big number to a small number to, a yearly goal to monthly to weekly to daily steps to get there. Next thing you know, you surpass the goal, right? So being with him for those couple of weeks, this is where a mentor that's done what you want to do, a mentor that's already accomplished the life that you want, that's actually been in the trenches and done it. Not someone that says, and actually hasn't done it, right? So I learned from him. A month later, so the end of January, I'd done 8 deals. 8 deals in downtown Toronto, right? And you remember, right? My goal was a deal a month, right? I just did 8 in a month. So now I start to think different. I start to believe different. And I just noticed that I made 100 grand. Like the commission was 4 points, right? Pre-construction. So it was $300K a condo, 12K a deal, right? We do the math. So I made 100 grand in a month. I couldn't believe it. I actually thought it was maybe not real. I went and told my dad. He goes, are you sure you're gonna get paid? Like blah, blah. It sounds too good to be true. But no, it was real, right? So that was the day I decided that I'm not gonna go back to school. Right? So in between this, I do go back to school for a bit, but within a few weeks, I realized it's not for me, right? Because everyone was into partying and going out. It's Frosh Week, all that type of stuff. My brain just keeps thinking about the guy that I met in real estate and all these type of things. And I'm thinking, what if I invest 4 years into real estate? Where could that take me versus spending 4 years into going into classes, right? So I completely drop out. I don't tell my parents. I tell them after the fact. They supported it. Like I said, my parents have been mad supportive. So I give them a lot of respect because I got a lot of friends and family, cousins, and, people like if they told their parents they dropped out, their parents are going to snap, go crazy, all that type of stuff. My parents supported it, right? So that gave me a completely different perspective on real estate. A month after that, by the end of February, I sold another 22 condos. By the end of 2011, it was 400. Right. And then pretty much just kept doing that every single year, man. So that's a little bit about me from the real estate side. And then obviously, me and you work together now. We've transitioned businesses as well, because the whole thing with me with real estate was I knew it was a great way to make money. Right. But you're going to get burnt out. Like you're working a lot. There's no duplication. There's no leverage. Right. I didn't know what that meant. So think about this. The day I stop selling, the day the machine stops, the money stops. Right. So you need to set yourself up in a way where you have assets, where you have businesses, right, that generate cash flow and that allow you to duplicate and scale, right? That took me 10 years to figure out. I wish I knew it sooner, but it took 10 years.
That's an amazing journey. And I think from that journey, you became a sales expert. Now when I'm around you, I think when anyone's around you, they're shook that you're going to sell them something and you're going to have to pull out their credit card at some point. So let's talk about that. I want this to be value packed, but apart from real estate sales, I think the sales skill set can be transferred into anything, whether you're selling a pencil, a drink, poker chips, doesn't matter.
You learn how to sell, you can do anything.
Exactly. So you've built multiple 7-figure businesses now. What are the most critical sales skills that you can learn and transfer into any type of business?
Okay, so biggest thing is you got to become knowledgeable in what you're doing, right? When you're talking to anybody about anything, right, your confidence is going to come from you having knowledge in what you're doing. You also got to believe in what you're doing. People can read the energy. They can see it on you. If you don't believe in what you're selling, what you're promoting, whatever you're doing, well, guess what? It's not going to last that long, right? But another big skill, to be honest, is really just learn how to sell without selling. You got to think about it this. When I'm talking to you, right? I'm not looking at it, what's in it for me. I'm looking at what's in it for you, right? Like, what are you looking for, and how can I bridge the gap to essentially help you accomplish whatever you want by investing into this, by partnering up in this, by, think about this, right? We're shooting a podcast right here, right? Vision Room, people come rent this place out to do social media, do all these type of things. You're adding a value to people that want to go out there and build their brand. You're not selling, right? But in return, you're getting a sale. You get what I mean?
Exactly.
Right? So it's all about the other person. You got to learn that, right? Another big thing that I've learned is don't count the money, right? I've seen too many of my friends that put out calculators, start looking at the commission before the deal happens, and then the deal falls apart, and they get sad, depressed, sad. Don't count the money. Just keep going, right? Just keep going. Those are some skills, but another big thing, honestly, is as you continue to do it and do it and do it and do it, well, guess what? You're becoming an expert at it because you're putting in the reps, right? So remember, who you are today is not who you're going to be in 3 years, 5 years, a year from now, okay? If you actually go out there and do the work. If you do nothing, you're going to be maybe the same person in a worse situation because guess what? The cost of living, everything will continue to go up. It's never going to go down, right? And for anyone who thinks it's going to go down, nah. Temporarily, maybe, but over 10, 20 years, you think about it. Is anything the same price today that it was in 1990? No. Right? It's always going to go up. So you got to learn on how you could always continue to increase your income, your revenue, your net worth, right? But going back to sales is something we do every single day without even knowing it. You sell yourself on a restaurant, you sell yourself on a phone, you sell yourself on everything and anything, okay? But why not become good at sales so then you could learn how to actually generate income, cash flow.
100%. I think some rookie salespeople or people that don't really understand sales, they think you're persuading someone. They think you have to force someone into a sale. What are some of your best tactics that you use to persuade people into the sale without forcing them into the sale?
Storytelling, right? I'm always telling stories, right? Yeah. And the reason why I'm telling a story is because I'm painting out a vision of how that person will grow, how that person will benefit from this, how it's all about the person. Right? It's not about me, right? Because when I make it about me, the other person can feel it. You get what I mean?
100%.
Right? So one of those things is, when people say, I'm not good at sales, I can't convince people. Bro, you're not convincing people, right? As long as you have a good product, a great service, whatever it is that you're doing, as long as you believe in what you're doing, all you're doing is showing people on how they can improve their life by being a part of what you're doing. That's it.
What's some of the biggest mistakes that salespeople make during a sale? Like I've seen sales collapse because there was something that was done, something that was said. What's a common mistake that constantly occurs with sales guys and it just collapses a deal?
A big thing is, talking too much, right? If believe it or not, if you keep talking and talking and talking, you sometimes talk the guy out or the girl out of the sale, right? I've seen people walk into a sales office ready to buy a condo, ready to buy. Like they came in ready to buy, right? And guess what happens? You pretty much talk them out of it because you confuse the shit out of them. And what do I mean by that? Maybe you showed them 50 different options, 50 different floor plans, right? Think about this. When you go in to go look at a pair of clothes, right? If you're looking at 50 different blazers, you're going to get confused. And you might say, let me think about it, I'll come back, right? But when you go look at a good salesperson is going to show you 3, 4, 5 maybe that fit you, that look good on you, and that's it. Right? So don't talk too much, right? Another big thing is, and this is a big one, it's just customer service, right? Like when you're in sales, you're in a customer service business, okay? Most people have made their decision to already buy before they come to you. Think about this. If you're going to go buy a Rolls Royce, all right, you're going to go to the Rolls Royce dealership and you're buying it. Is that salesperson selling you a Rolls Royce? You've already made your decision, man. You're going in there and buying that Rolls Royce. Okay, so a salesperson, and I've seen this happen, okay? As long as they provide good customer service, they're good, they're not rude, they're not arrogant, right? They're humble, right? You have that connection, you build that, you build that relationship, you got a client for life, right? I've seen people, and I've had this happen with one of my friends, okay, where they went in to go buy a Ferrari, and the Ferrari dealership treated them not well. All right, it was a Punjabi uncle. Didn't look like he was rich, but he's rich. And just pulled up there ready to buy the Ferrari, and the person just treated him wrong, right? And kind of just didn't even give him a minute of the day. So that person just lost that sale. That uncle drove out of the dealership, went straight to the Lamborghini dealership, bought a Lamborghini on the spot, drove it back to the Ferrari dealership, and told the guy, "You just lost out on this sale because of your arrogance." Right? Wow. So that's a huge lesson right there. Sometimes we judge a book by its cover. Don't judge people, right? Actually, this reminds me of one of my early days at 1920. I used to advertise heavy on radios and TVs, heavy, right? And that was something I had to listen, I was shy. The first time I went on a radio program, I was sweating like literally like I went on a 45-minute run, right? But I built the confidence, right? But going back to the point, I got a call from this guy. I used to get like so many calls. I used to call everybody back. I had a book. Like, you know, those days it was different. I don't know. There's no CRMs, bro. I used to like physically write down name, number, call them back. And then, you know, you see who's serious, who's not, right? But you treat everybody like they're serious, okay? Treat everybody like they're ready to buy. So got this call, and this guy, uncle, goes, you know, I want to buy a condo. Can you come see me at this pizza store? It was right here on Boulevard. I still remember the pizza store. So I go to the pizza store, I get there, and like he's like making pizzas, right? And I'm like thinking, this guy actually gonna buy a condo or not, right? Like can he buy a condo or not, right? But whatever. I went on with it, and he made me wait for a bit because he was busy making pizzas. And then he goes, come in the back, we'll sit down. So I sit down in the pizza store. He's got his apron on. He's dirty, all this type of stuff. You know, I start showing him the projects. Those days I usually physically take the brochure, meet you, show you, all that type of stuff. And he goes, okay, I like this one. I want to buy it, right? He bought that condo. He ended up buying 10 condos over like 5 years, right? Wow. What I found out was that he was extremely rich, extremely wealthy, owned a bunch of pizza places, owned a bunch of liquor stores in the U.S., owned a bunch of properties in the U.S., and just moved to Canada because he didn't want to raise his kids in the U.S., right? And I learned from that experience that I could have easily judged this guy. And I would have thought he's not going to buy a condo, right? Not to mention the car in the front, you know, was a Toyota Camry that was very old, right? I could have easily judged him. That was the day where I learned to never judge somebody, right? And how I learned that was by me being judged. And that was me going to Harry Rosen in regular clothes and nobody coming up to me to ask me if I need any help, right? And I test this, right? I remember like 19, 20, you know, I was making money. I would go to Harry Rosen just to go reward myself, and nobody would come up to me, right? And then I would show up in nice clothes, and like 10 of them would come up to me, and it would just make me laugh. I'm like, see, these guys are sales guys. They don't even know, right? And I've learned this over the years now. There's people on way bigger levels. Like I've been in a room with developers, all right? You know, pre-construction, they have a big party. You know, everybody's there. So everyone's dressed up in a suit. Everyone's, you know, wearing their nice clothes. And this was the days where I was shy, okay? So it's like 2011, 2012. I'm shy as hell, so I'm not even like talking to the other agents. I'm literally in a corner by myself. And everyone's, you know, shaking the hands of the guy in the suit, the VP, the president, this and that, right? And there's some guy in the back with like a dress shirt, but not tucked in, right? Holding a bottle of beer with like jeans on and like running shoes. So I start talking to him, right? And I'm like, so how are you? This and that. He goes, I'm good. I'm like, so, you know, what do you do? He goes, I'm in real estate. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how many condos did you sell in this project? That's literally all I used to do. Like, you know, what do you do? How many condos did you sell? So I could learn some stuff, right? And he goes, oh, yeah. You know, he didn't really answer, right? He's just like, yeah. And then you just talk about random things. And at the end, I'm like, do you mind if we connect? Can I get your business card? He gives me his business card. He was the CEO. He was the owner.
Wow.
He was the owner, right? And I got a picture from that day, right? And I literally looked at him. I'm like, you were the owner this whole time. You didn't tell me? He goes, yeah, I did it on purpose, right? And he goes, and then he told me, he goes, I'm going to teach you a life lesson right now, right? He was in his 50s. He goes, look at everybody here. Everyone's trying to shake his hand. He goes, all these guys work for me, right? I'm the actual guy who's the owner, but I'm low key, right? None of them ever came to even introduce themselves to me because I don't look the part. So he's like, I dress like this on purpose, right? So, bro, it's life lessons, man. You learn so many things over the years.
Jeez. So, yo, bro, like, how do you build instant credibility? So in that case, that guy may not have had instant credibility with you or instant trust because he may not have looked the part. How do you build instant credibility when you're meeting someone new and you're selling something to them?
Bro, the simple way to build instant credibility is build the knowledge, be confident, right? And just treat the person like a person, right? That's it, man. You can build, people are going to buy with you because of you, right? You look at our network marketing business, right? You know, what I've learned is that people join people. They're going to join you because of who you are, right? Same thing applies to real estate, right? You know, when we're selling a certain condo project, they could buy from 20 different agents, right? I have so many guys that will buy just from me because of me, right? So how do you build it? There's no easy answer to that. The answer is you have to do the work. You have to build the confidence. You have to step outside of your comfort zone. You need to start transforming your mindset. You need to just work on yourself. It's simple, right?
Next level information. I'm glad we got to speak about sales, and now we're going to get into mindset and vision. All right, bro. You've built multiple businesses from the ground up. How does someone develop an unshakable belief in their vision and where they want to go?
It's a good question, right? Because there's going to be so many times where that belief might fade, right? Where so many factors come into your life where you might you're going to go through losses. You're going to go through obstacles. You're going to go through so much bullshit in this journey, right? But that's part of the game, right? So one thing that has helped me, and listen, all I do is I learn from people that have gone through what I've gone through. I learn from people that are way more successful than me, because my goal is to become successful and more successful and more successful, right? But to answer your question, how do you build that mindset, is a few things. And this is something that everybody can do. Number one, you got to figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you doing it, right? I got strong whys. Look, I started off with the whys to help my parents. Right? I start off with the whys because I wanted to be able to have a better life. Okay? You got to figure out your whys, and your whys will constantly change, but your whys is what keeps you in the game. All right? So take a notebook out, write down why. Why do you want these things? What is it? But it's got to be something that's personal to you and also gets you emotional. Okay? Emotions are actually a good thing. I know, being guys, being Punjabi, we don't talk about these type of things, right? But your emotions will actually help you, okay? So figure out what those whys are, okay? Then realize that if you stay focused, if you stay consistent, if you have a never give up mentality, well, there's no if you're going to become successful or not. It's just when, right? So the timing will come in, but most people they will give up before it actually happens. So you have to build that mindset to never, ever quit on your dreams, okay? The whys are powerful, but what are your dreams? What do you want to do, right? Like all these things, it's going to help you build it, right? And another thing is, this is something that I do every single day. I literally take time out to visualize what I want my life to look like. Close my eyes. I play on some music, right? That puts me in the zone, right? And start to visualize if everything that you want works out, right? So not like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Just start to put it in your mind that it's already happened. It's already happened. Like, when you start doing this, believe it or not, but the universe, God, right? Your subconscious mind, which literally is what you're doing in your real life without you even knowing it, right? That was something that I didn't even know what subconscious, I didn't know any of these things. I learned this 10, 12 years into the game. But the programming here, okay, look, everybody looks at results. What am I going to accomplish? Results, okay? So let's step back. Where do results come from? Action. Where does action come from? An idea. Where does the idea come from? A thought, thinking. But where does the thinking and thoughts come from? Your programming, okay? So you got to spend, if you want better results with better ideas, okay, you got to work on programming the mindset of thinking and believing that it's already going to work out. You get what I mean?
100%.
Right? That's what you got to do. And I didn't know these things, okay? It took me a long time to figure this stuff out, right? And that is the true powerful secret. Go to YouTube. I mean, it's probably going to be on YouTube. Go to YouTube and just go write things like, the law of attraction. Okay? It's real shit. Okay? Go listen to Conor McGregor. All right? Go listen to things that he says. Go listen to Floyd Mayweather, right? Go listen to 50 Cent. Listen to who they were when they had nothing, and listen to who they are today. You're going to notice one thing. When they had nothing and they were broke, they were already talking like they had it all. Right? So what do you think they were doing? They were programming their brain that no matter what, they're going to get it. It's happening. It's not like maybe, it's happening, right? You need that definite, it's happening. So that's kind of what I do for mindset. But this is something that requires daily work. It's not 1 time, 2 time, 5 time, and it's going to work magic. This requires daily work. Your mind is a muscle. Just like you lifting weights, just like you going on a walk and transforming your body, you got to transform your mind, right? And the way you're going to transform your mind is by you working on it on a daily basis. Because look, your mind is the most powerful asset. We all have a powerful asset. Sometimes we don't even realize it, right? So if you are not spending time on these things that I'm talking about, that's something that's free. You don't got to go sign up for some crazy program to learn from somebody. You can
100%. And I think I'm very grateful I got around people like you and the other community that we've gotten around, because this was something that I learned as well. I never knew this before. I always thought manifestation was abracadabra, hocus pocus, look at yourself in the mirror, I am beautiful, I am sexy. And 20 minutes later, you're still ugly and you're not sexy.
Yeah.
And then I realized, yo, bro, it's the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the hard drive to your brain.
Bro, it's the hard drive.
It's like having a computer.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what I do on that computer.
Yeah.
If I want to open up Photoshop on that computer, it's not going to open unless Photoshop's not on that computer.
There you go.
Doesn't matter what I do.
There you go. Just think of this as the same way. It's just a bunch of files in here.
It's a bunch of files. And until you don't download a certain file into your brain, you're not going to be able to get that.
Yeah.
Now,
also going to your point. So see, look, manifestation, yeah, it works. It doesn't work without action though. Right? You got to do both.
yes.
Right? Too many people just manifest and they want everything to come, but they ain't willing to do the work. Right? You got to do both.
Hondo.
That's when it works.
100%. So, bro, I've seen, obviously, you've made millions of dollars in real estate, particularly selling pre-construction. Now, fast forward many years, I've seen you enter a whole different business, completely different line of business, and run it up once again. And there's two things that I see common in both things. There's something there, but it's not there yet physically. There's an opportunity there that not everyone sees. When Toronto pre-construction was starting, no one can even think about investing in a building that doesn't exist right now. And
You honestly,
you
facts.
did numbers. You did
Facts.
numbers.
Yeah.
When you got involved in another business a couple years ago, I've heard the stories. I've had people go, yo, this guy's gone crazy.
Yeah.
But you saw something that maybe other people didn't see.
Yeah.
What do you do in your brain, in your mindset, in your vision that allows you to see opportunities before other people can see them?
So, there's a few key things, right? But the number one thing is this. I was fortunate enough to go through this when I started pre-construction. Believe it or not, in 2010, everybody thought pre-construction was a scam. I'll say it again, guys. Everybody in 2010, 2011 thought it was a scam. People were actually telling my dad, what is your son doing selling these dreams of some paper that's going to get built, blah, blah, blah. People thought it was a scam, right? This is what I've learned. Do the opposite of what majority are doing before they realize it. Okay? So think about what I just said, right? When everyone's hopping into something, okay, there's still room to grow, right? But the ones that see it before will grow the most. Okay, so I saw this in pre-con. So 2010, 2011, a lot of people thought, it's a scam, all right? By 2014, 15, every single agent was trying to become a pre-construction agent. Why? Because they realized that the ones that did it made a lot of money, right? They realized that the ones that invested in those days, listen, you were making a lot of money too. You were buying a condo. You were pretty much doubling up your down payment by the time it closed, right? So simply what I saw here was this. I look at facts, all right? Was there a problem in society? Absolutely yes, right? I went through it, right? I had high cholesterol. I was pre-diabetic. I was 285 pounds. Yeah, I'm financially well, but this part of the equation is not well, right? You got to have both, okay? So I knew that this product, simple product, actually works. That's number one. Two, the problem was only going to get bigger, all right? You don't got to look at me. You got to look at what I'm saying. Go Google it yourself. Go look at anywhere in the world. Are these statistics going to increase or decrease? They're going to increase. It's simple as that, okay? So now when things are increasing, demand's always going to be there. And if you have a solution to a big problem, well, guess what? That's how you make big money, okay? So I saw those two things. And number three, the simplest thing is this. I realized there was a business model that allowed duplication and leverage, okay? What does that mean? Now in real estate, how do you duplicate? How do you leverage? You got to go build a team of 5, 10 agents. All right, go actually do that in real life and see how it plays out. Go actually do it. All right, you're going to have a few agents join you, learn your game, leave you, become your competition. Who knows, okay? But in this business, none of that stuff exists because everyone's on the exact same compensation, right? Anybody could out-earn anybody, right? But it allows you to build duplication and leverage. So when you understand what that is, there's no limit. There's no limit, right? And I treat this like a real estate business. I look at it like this. How much real estate do I have to own? How much do I have to own in real estate for me to make call it residual income of even 10K a month? Think about it. Everyone, no one thinks about these things, right? So now I'm gonna pull out the calculator, right? So if we look at this, simple facts, how much real estate you gotta, everyone can see this, right? So look at this. Now, let's take an average condo in downtown Toronto. What is it, 2,500? Safe to say? I mean, You're renting a bunch right now, average rent. Now let's just say it's paid off in cash. How likely is that?
Very unlikely. Your average person's mortgage is going at least 20, 25 years.
Very unlikely, all right? Probably like 99% unlikely. Okay, let's just say somehow you got a lot of cash, you paid this thing off, all right? Now, Your property tax, call it $200 a month, and call your condo fees $400 a month. So what are you netting? $1,900 a month. All right, dealing with the tenant, still dealing with all that type of stuff, but paid off $1,900. Now, I said $10K a month. Okay, divide that by $1,900. So what is that? You need 5.2 condos. So you can't buy 5.2. So you got to round it up. You need 6. Okay, so we need 6 condos. What's the average price of a condo right now in the GTA?
Around 600K.
600K. All right, so we need a real estate portfolio of $3.6 million paid off to generate $10K. I did that in like 45 days in this business. How long would it take for me to save $3.6 million? That's all I look at. That's all I look at, right? So people that don't see it, it's all good. I'm going to show you guys what I look at, right? And if you see this, you're able to build an asset, literally an asset that builds cash flow, equivalent of owning millions of dollars of real estate. That's what I look at, right? And there's no limit, bro. There's no limit. You take it to wherever you want, right? So does that help answer that question?
100%, 100%. Now, when I look at this business in particular, or I look at any other business and I see people's decision-making, whether they're going to enter a business or not, I think one of the things that always stops them, and I think it's across the board, is fear.
Yeah.
Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of whatever. How have you, because I've seen you, and I don't know if you have fear or not, but when you walk into a room, it looks like you're fearless.
Yeah.
How have you reframed the way you look at fear to use it to your advantage?
Okay, so I had a lot of fears, right? And you know, my journey has been a place where I had to overcome fears. Simple, right? Like going back to real estate, I had a fear of talking to people. Like I had a fear of going on the radio program. I had a fear of presenting to people. I had a fear of having a meeting with like more than 3 people in a room. I had fear. Right? I quickly realized a simple thing. All right, this is my fear. All right. Let's just say this is where I got to get. This is my $1 million, right? And then this is me right here. Simple. If this fear stays here, I never get in the $1 million. I'm never getting it because I'm always just going to get scared. I'm always going to get scared. So I have to realize, why am I scared? And it goes to the same things that you said, bro. You fear of judgment, you fear of what people think. You know, you have all these insecurities and all these fears. So really, you got to dig deep and you got to figure out what it is. Once you identify what you fear, you simply got to ask yourself, are you going to let those imaginary things? Because these are imaginary things that you've told yourself. So they're something called limiting beliefs. See, what you tell yourself is what you believe. Okay? So now when you've identified that they're imaginary limiting beliefs, okay, you have to realize that you have to erase these things out of your brain in order to get the bag. Call it whatever you want, whatever your goal is. To get to that goal, you got to overcome your fears. I learned this from watching other people that were successful. I learned this from listening to people that were in different industries. I listen to 50 Cent all the time. I listen to all these athletes. They all have fears, but they've realized that if they don't overcome their fears, they're never getting to their goals. It's not happening, right? So that's what helped me initially overcome fears. Another big thing is this. I'm gonna ask you a question. Let's say you're closing 2 condos right now, all right? And your appraisal comes in short, all right? And you need to cover the difference. So you need like a quick 150K, 75K a condo, okay? Can you go to the people that you care about their opinions, all right? So let me break this down. The fear is people, right? What they think about you. So can you go to those people and say, yo, I'm going through this right now. Can you guys, give me 150K, right? Can you go to them and ask for 150?
They're probably going to laugh.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be like, nah, bro, shit's a little tight.
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to tell all their boys, yo, this guy's broke. Yo.
This guy's broke, right?
Yeah.
So think about that, right? So those are the people that we care about their opinions. So why the hell do you care? Right? I look at it like this, bro. Like, that person ain't going to do nothing for me. So why do I care about what they think? I don't give a shit. Right? I got to go out there and get this for myself. Right? So that's how I overcome fears. Right? Bro, that right there for me is so powerful, because anything that I do, I just give myself a quick analogy that if these people that care, they're ever gonna be there for me? Nope. Right? So why do I care? Then go look at anybody who's extremely successful. All right? I love Grant Cardone. I listen to Grant Cardone all the time. Andy Frisella, all these type of guys. Go read half of their comments. Shit talker, shit talker, shit talker, shit talker. Shit talking is part of the game when you're doing big things. Right? So what you realize is people even at that level, right? They got all these people talking shit. Do they care? I've literally seen Grant Cardone build a portfolio of real estate from social media that's in the billions in front of my own eyes.
Why do you think people are so shook of shit talk?
I don't know. I mean, actually, maybe I do know. See, the reason why I said I don't know is because I've rewired my whole brain to not give a shit, right? So that's the point. Yeah, it's actually, I'm actually proud of myself right there, right?
Sick.
Because it takes time to get there, right? But, I think people are just so scared because they care too much about what people think, right? Really what it is, they just care too much. Well, why do you care? You just got to ask yourself, why do you care, right? Go look at anyone who's done anything great in their life. They don't care. And when they win, then everyone says, oh, yeah, man, knew you were going to do it. Or you got lucky.
100%.
You got lucky. You know how many times I heard I got lucky in real estate? A lot of times, right? Did I get lucky again? No, man. It's the work ethic. It's all these things that I'm talking about, right? And then you know what? God gives you luck too. When you're putting in the work and you're doing good things, you get lucky too.
100%, man. 100%. It's been a great conversation so far, and we're going to move it on.
We're ready.
So, brother.
Talk to me.
From real estate millions to another 7-figure business. And we're talking net. When you hear the word 7 figures, in most businesses, you're talking revenue.
Yep.
In this business, we're talking take-home cash.
Net.
And that's why I want to talk about this industry and this business. We've all heard of social media marketing. We've all heard of TV marketing. We've heard of flyer marketing. We've heard of radio marketing. And we've all heard of network marketing.
Yeah.
Except it is one of those industries that to this day has a negative stigma to it.
Yeah.
It has a perception to it from people that are uneducated about the industry. When I see business people look at this model, they're like, oh, fuck, genius. When I see non-business people look at this model, I see them say, this looks like some sort of scheme.
Yeah.
And the word that I hear a lot is the word pyramid scheme.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you've heard that word. I've heard that word. I've seen videos of me getting circulated into WhatsApp groups look at this pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that word and how you've taken that word by the balls and turned it into a 7-figure business.
Facts. All right. You know what? All good points here. And the reason why it has a bad, misconception, I feel, and I'll be honest, man, I also had a misconception about it, right? Straight up, I did, right? Because here's the reason why. Most of them do not do well. Why? Because the product ain't good. I'll be honest. If you got a shitty product that doesn't actually add value to the world, well, guess what? It's not going to be a good business, okay? But here's the thing. Going back to your point, right? Call it a pyramid, call it whatever you want, right? But think about this. Let me put things into analogy for those of you that are watching this, all right? Now, if you work a job, right? Who makes more, you or your manager?
The manager will always make more.
All right, who makes more, the manager or the VP?
The VP will always make more.
The VP or the CEO?
The CEO's got the bag.
Think about this, all right? Now, you on the bottom of the pyramid, let's just call it what it is now, right? You're working every single day. You're working extremely hard. You're putting in that 9 to 5 hour every single day. Do you even have a chance to out-earn the VP, the CEO?
No chance.
No chance. And this is just the world, guys. It's not me making it up, all right? Go look at, for example, your parents, right? I look at my mom. My mom worked in a factory. She worked extremely hard. She worked long hours, right? Did she even have a chance? Like, let's say she was willing to put in more work. Did they even give her an opportunity to go there and double or triple or quadruple or 10x her income? No chance, okay? Let me go back to another thing. Let's talk about the industry that my parents, my dad was in, videography, okay? DJing. I used to help my dad DJ, right? Now, think about this. If you're DJing, are you making more as a single DJ? All right, but if you're an owner that has like 10 DJs, who's making more?
The owner that has 10 DJs.
Think about that, right? So you guys want to talk about pyramids, I get it, but you're actually in a pyramid yourself and you don't even know it. You're actually in a pyramid and you don't even know it. And you can't reverse it, okay? So you got to understand the mindset, or you got to understand these things, right? So this is what I see in this business, okay? Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter if you have money, doesn't matter, and that's what I love about this, is that you don't need money to grow it, all right? Now, in other industries, if you wanted to go out there and start your own shop, start your own business, start anything, you need money. That's what holds people back from doing things, because they don't have the money, okay? Here you could come in. You could learn the skills. Yeah, you got to become good at certain things. You got to learn the skills. You got to develop the mindset, right? You got to understand on how to become a leader, right? But as you do that, you can build a business, okay, that can literally explode. Why? Because other people in the business have the same equal opportunity, literally the same opportunity to go out there and earn whatever they want. Think about that, right? So when I go back to all these other examples that I gave you, in a job, in whatever you're doing, you could be hardworking, like I said. You could want to grow, but you're not even given the opportunity. And years will go by and your life will go by and you'll look back 10 years later saying, shit. That's exactly what's going to happen. You know, these are facts, right? So this is why I see network marketing, where it gives everybody an opportunity to go out there and actually change their life if they truly want to. You know, they don't have to have millions of dollars. They don't even have to have thousands of dollars. All right. It gives anybody a chance if they truly want to. Okay. So that's how I look at this industry. But the other big thing is it truly allows people to build a business without the headaches and risks of a traditional business. Let's be honest. You have a traditional business, you got lease payments, rent payment, employees. You got all these things that you got to pay before you can make $1, right? In our business, you don't have any of these things. So the only limit you have is you, right? And that's why it's a business where you truly will personally develop yourself. And I get it if you don't understand it. I'll be, like I said, I didn't understand it for years, right? I actually probably was in the same boat as a lot of the people that see it that way until I took the time out to educate myself. And then I started to realize that a lot of the people that I look up to, that I follow, all right, you know, some of them I'll throw the names out. Patrick Bet-David, right? You guys probably see him on, I'm sure you guys all see him on IG, social media. You go look at, another big guy is Ed Milet. All right, go look at these people. You see what they do now. You see them with the hundreds of millions now. Go look at where they started. Go look at where they made their first couple M's. And remember, they all started with nothing. They weren't born into wealth. They weren't born into riches, right? They all built their money in network marketing. 100%. And they still earn on that today, right? So as long as you have the right product that is actually adding value, that's actually helping people, okay? You can't just be doing it with a bad thing. You actually need a good thing. You got to always think about the good that you could bring into this world, okay? So as long as you have a good product, which we do, all right, you have essentially a ground floor opportunity, right? This is what I saw. A ground floor opportunity to be there before it takes off. Because here's the thing. When it's here, everybody want to do it. Everybody want to join. The ones that saw it here, yeah, they got to work harder. Yeah, they got to go through the WhatsApp groups. Yeah, they're going to have people talk shit. But these ones that stay consistent, they ride the wave. They end up stacking up. They end up adding value to a lot of people's lives. They end up raising a lot of people in the process, right? Think about that. You only win if you help others win. Reverse that, you know, go to your boss right now and be like, yo, teach me your secrets. I want to become like you. Guess they ain't going to teach you nothing, right? Go to your real estate person that you might know in your circle that's making over $1 million a year and have them actually show you what they actually do. Bro, they'll give you like 10, 20% of what they actually do just to, you know, keep that relationship alive. They're not going to show you the whole, you know, playbook. Why? Because they don't want you to do better than them. You see what I mean?
100%.
Right? So I get the misconceptions, but I hope this helps you maybe understand that it's not what you guys think it is. But at the same time, if it doesn't, it's all good. It took me a long time.
100%. And I think how I understood it myself, and as I've really took the concept of network marketing and took my time to understand it, the reality is only about 1% of the world's population are business owners.
Yeah.
99% of the world's population are employees. The 1% of people that understand this business model, they're business owners. Doesn't matter what business you start, you are starting your own pyramid. Here, we're in my studio. Guess what? Everyone that comes into this infrastructure is under me.
Yeah.
And there cannot be someone on top of me. That's the same when it comes to any business. When Donut Depot was around, guess who was top dog?
Yeah.
No one else can be top dog. Everything goes downwards. The other thing I realized is network marketing is just a marketing strategy. What do I mean by that?
That's all it is.
You sold millions of dollars of real estate through various marketing channels, radio, TV, flyers, network marketing. Believe it or not, the first thing that any realtor does when they have a listing, they don't go to MLS. They go to WhatsApp groups and they send it to 10 of their top dogs and they say, hey, want this property? Before it goes to another marketing platform. And that's all network marketing is. It's taking a product and moving it through your network and building a business off of that.
Honestly, bro, you actually explained it so incredibly well. right? Because that's exactly what it is.
It's
right?
It's a marketing strategy.
And sometimes people say, "What, yo, bro? But there's somebody else that's making money." Let me ask you a question. Simple question. Go look at anything and ask yourself if someone else is making money on it. When I sell a condo, all right, I get paid my commission. Who else got paid? Think about it. Who else got paid on that $1 million unit? All right, I got paid. The sales and marketing company worked for the developer got paid. All the employees got paid. The city got paid. The trades got paid. The developer got paid. The bank got paid. The government got paid. I could keep going. No one ever thinks about it, right? You go buy a burger at a burger place. You think that burger, call it $19.99, did it go directly to the restaurant? No, man, there's costs associated with it, right? And here's the thing. In our business, you're able to operate with leverage, with duplication, with the power to scale, but you don't need the money to scale, right? When you understand that, you'll understand what the potential actually is.
So, bro, you've obviously scaled this business to levels that not a lot of people are able to touch. And I think that's where people start getting hesitant. It's like, hey, there's only a handful of top earners in the business, but they fail to see all the guys that are making more than your average Canadian.
Yeah.
Now, what separates those that succeed exponentially in network marketing in comparison to people that just scratch the surface and weed themselves out after a couple of years?
Mindset. It's mindset, man. It's mindset. It's simple. It goes back to what you believe. All right. It goes back to what you believe is possible for you. It goes back to you understanding that it might take some time, but as long as you stay in the game long enough to become great at it, you will win. Okay, so this is all mindset. Most people's mindset is going to fall apart on their first rejection, first objection, first person talking shit, right? I remember when I first dropped some videos when I was starting this off in like 2023, January. The first couple of comments were like, oh, this guy's gone broke, can't sell real estate, can't afford his Lambo payments. Well, my Lambo's paid off, number one. Number two, even if I don't sell real estate, I'm collecting 7 figures a year for the next 10 years because I've sold 4,000 condos, right? So people just say things without knowing things, right? So I just laugh at it. I literally laugh at it, right? But think about somebody that doesn't take it and laugh at it, and it affects them. So this is why I say I don't care what people think, right? So nothing affects me. You get what I mean? 100%. People are going to talk shit regardless, right? I've actually had some people now in my close circle. They're not in the business, right? They're not going to do the business. I know it is what it is. I don't care, right? But guess what? They got cholesterol and they got diabetes and they're overweight. And after a year and a half, they're like, yo, Bic, just give me this product. Just let me just try it.
100%.
Now I got messages saying, yo, bro, like I'm never going to do this business, but the product changed my life. Same guys that when I started, right? I remember being in Dubai, chilling with some of my friends, successful guys in real estate, all looking at me like, Bic, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Blah, 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 all this type of shit, bro. I didn't care though, because I knew it was possible. I see it before they see it, right? The same guys now are literally taking the product on a monthly basis, bro. They're subscribers now, right? Why? Because they've done so many different things and it's not working for them. Can you guys go change the food? I don't think so. We can't go change the food that's out there. At the end of the day, yeah, you can go try to do it on your own. Cut everything out. Go cut everything out of your diet. Eat super clean. Eat this, eat that. See how long you can do it for. Very few don't have the willpower, right? So our product, again, is bridging a solution to a problem and making it convenient for people to do with results that actually work. Simple as that, right?
100%. So, bro, if you were starting this business back from scratch, obviously you've become a mentor for hundreds of people in the network and you're helping people grow their business. And now you obviously learned all these things by doing the business. But if you were starting off brand new and maybe you didn't have the support that you have become for other people now, what are some of the initial skills that you need right off the bat to be able to win in network marketing?
There's a few skills, right? So I would say this. One of the biggest skills is right away, build that mindset, that rejection and shit talking is going to come your way. And if you're going to let that affect you, just don't even do it. Don't even do it. Okay. Build a mindset that move fast, move with urgency. I believe in this. If you're going after a big dream or a big goal or whatever it is, why not get there faster? Why not get there faster? Right? So, what I think is sometimes in the start, and I did think about it, but I should have think bigger, dream bigger, move faster, move with more urgency, right? Because when you can move with those things, you're able to compress time. What might take a year can happen it's not 30 days, but call it 90 days, bro. In 3 months, you could accomplish a year work in like literally a year's work in 3 months. So those are some of the key points. Another thing that I would say is like, forget about your network. Like what I mean by that is like, if your friends and family are going to talk shit, forget about them. Tap into, guess what? Social media. Why? Because social media is not about your friends and family watching your videos. It's about people that are watching your videos that can relate to you, that are literally looking for what you're talking about. And you're now providing value to them. So now you're connecting with strangers and you're building a business with people that are actually inclined to work with you, right? And guess what? When you tap into that, there's an abundance. That's it. There's an abundance.
100%. So as I've developed my network marketing business as well, what I've realized is there's two types of people that you can bring into your business. There's low-hanging fruit. Those are the people that are just sad, miserable. They don't know what they're doing in life. They're broke, and you can sell them the dream and get them into the business. But what I've seen is the people that are winning and the big winners, they're recruiting high-quality individuals. They're recruiting people that come from the world of business. How do you attract and recruit people that are high quality and not just low-hanging fruit?
Yeah, so the way I do it is that I've been that person. So I've realized what that means. And what that means is when you're highly successful in a traditional business, typically you have no time. You have no time. What's the most valuable asset? Time. Okay? I had no time in real estate. I was working all the time. Okay? If I took time out, my income would drop. Okay, so the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I know that person that is successful, that is in a traditional business, is also going through the same pain. Okay, that's number one. I know that that person has the skill set already to be able to explode in a business. Okay, so I know they already come in with transferable skills. Okay, but number three, I know that if that person, because you got to work hard at anything you do. Okay, so I'm gonna paint out a story for you. Call yourself a salesperson, real estate sales, all right? You become successful. So option one, all right? So Ajay, you become a real estate guy, you become successful, you're making $250,000 a year. That's good money, all right? That's like, call it 2% of real estate agents in all of Toronto. Literally 2%. So there's another point. So that means 98% are making less than that, right? 90% are making less than 50K, right? So when people say, oh, there's only a few people winning, look at real estate. This is in every industry. Doesn't matter where you go. Why are certain people winning and certain people not? Goes back to the mindset, goes back to the skill set, goes back to how bad they want it. It goes back to so many things that only you can build for yourself. You understand what I mean? Right? So let me go back to what I'm painting here. Ajay gets into real estate, makes $250,000 a year. You're doing well, making $250,000 every year. But what are you doing? You're working hard.
Trading my time for money.
Time for money, bro. You're working hard. All right? Now, option two, you go open up Vision Room. All right? Call my boy Manraj, opens up a Vision Room studio. All right? How much money does he need to open this up?
At least 100 bands at minimum.
Right? Okay, so he invests $100,000 to open this place up, all right? Now, let's say, he starts growing. People are booking it. Social media is buzzing. People are like, yo, there's a new podcast, blah, blah, blah. Go shoot your content here, all right? Now, he's got obviously maybe 1 or 2 employees, or maybe himself is the employee, right? He's got expenses. He's got overheads. He's got things to pay. Now, let's say he's able to make, I don't know, what do you think is a good income that he could make per month here? Net.
Let's say $15,000 a month.
Okay, so 15 times 12, what is that? 180, right? Call 180. Let's just say he's got maybe 200. Okay, yeah. So he's making 200. Now you're making 250 as a real estate agent. He's making 200 business, traditional business. One's a salesperson business. One's an actual traditional business. Let's go to number 3. Someone gets into network marketing. All right, starts with what? 0. Starts with 0. Okay, doesn't have the $100,000. Can't start a regular business. Okay, so that option doesn't even exist for them. Gets into network marketing. Aligns themselves with people that are literally done what they want to do. So mentors, okay? They learn from the best. They stay consistent. They develop the mindset, the skill set. So year 1 goes by, they maybe make, call it, I don't know, let's just go lowball this. Let's say they make an extra 20, 30K. All right, they made 20, 30K in a year. All right, not much, but extra 20, 30K. They keep going. Remember, I keep saying this. You got to stay in the game long enough to win, right? Because in that process, you're transforming who you are. That's what's happening in the background, okay? In order to change the visible, you got to change the invincible, which is here, okay? That's what happens in network marketing. Now, by year 3, let's say that person becomes a presidential in the business, which is equivalent to making 20K a month. All right, so now they're making, is that possible? Absolutely, yes. I've seen this happen so many times, over and over. Okay, so $20K a month took 3 years. It's $240 a year. What's the difference between their income and your income?
They've created something that's residual, and they've created something where they can take their foot off the gas a little bit and they'll keep going.
Bro, so what happens is this. In that same 3 years, everybody worked hard. Okay, but now fast forward. You stop selling real estate. You go away for 2 months. What happens?
Your income plummets instantly.
And that's what's happening to real estate agents right now. All right, you got all these agents that were hot shot, call it 24 months ago, that are no shots right now. Straight up. And I'm not saying to talk shit. These are facts, okay? So you got to learn from these things, because these things will happen again in life. Now, you built that network marketing business. You built a network. You built people that are using the product, because the products change their life. They continue to order on a monthly basis. You've built leaders in the business that are making 5, 10, 15, 20K a month. Now, guess what you've built for yourself? You've built time freedom. So if you step away and you're comfortable, you're happy, you don't want to get to the M's, you're okay, you're happy where you are, right? You've become financially free, and you've built time freedom, and you're able to travel all around the world and continue to build a business if you want. That's the power here. Think, when you really understand that, I haven't found anything like it, right?
100%. So I totally understand it now. And a lot of our network understands that as well. But when you're going and you're trying to recruit people, whether they are high, tall trees or low-hanging fruit, you're going to get all sorts of rejections, all sorts of objections. And I think they sting a little bit more when the guy's rich in front of you, or he's a successful guy. And now he thinks, oh, yo, what are you on, bro? You good, bro? Like, I'm already making M's. What are you trying to sell me?
Yeah.
How do you handle objections? How do you handle rejections?
I just don't care. I don't care, right? Because I know what I can create here. And if they don't see it, they don't see it, right? So what I do is I just go out there and create it, and then I call them up to remind them what they missed out on.
Amazing.
That's what I do.
Amazing. So now, bro, you've been in this for a couple of years now. What are some early mistakes that you made that you want to let the audience know? Don't make these mistakes because you already made them.
Some of the mistakes was, it's not a transactional business. What does that mean? I came from a transactional business. Real estate's very transactional, meaning you sell, you get paid, you sell, you get paid, you get sell, you get, it's transactional, right? And this business is not transactional. If you come in here thinking that you're just going to sell some products and you're going to become rich, it's not going to happen. Okay. So some of the mistakes that I made was I treated it like a transactional business, because it's ingrained in me, right? To go there and close, right? This is an actual development leadership business, right? So what does that mean, right? You're hearing this word. What it means is you actually want to help that person win. In real estate sales, typically what happens is you sell a property and most agents will disappear. Like, think about it. Like, you know how many calls I get right now from people that bought pre-construction condos from not me, somebody else? And like, Paji, mera phone nahi chakda si unit liya, saadi closing nahi hondi, you know, tusi condos bechde, can you help? Yeah. The agent disappeared, bro, because they treated it like a transaction, right? Boom, boom, boom. So what I've learned is you want to build relationships, all right? So in this business, if, like I said, if you're just going to quickly sell a, you know, here, sign up in this business, you're not going to get rich. You want to help that person grow, right? And you need some patience, right? But you want to develop that person. You want to help them become a leader. You want to build a strong foundation amongst people, right? So that's a mistake that I made, right?
Yeah. Amazing, man. So yeah, there's so many network opportunities, network marketing opportunities that come across people's laps.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything like Unicity. Obviously the product works. It's a reusable product that's going to constantly get used on a monthly basis. So there's recurring revenue. What about the Unicity business stood out to you? Because I'm sure there's been multiple network marketing opportunities that came your way. What was it specific about this opportunity and the way it was presented to you that caught your attention?
So there's probably 3-4 key points. All right. So the number one key was unique product. All right. I know that if you have a generic product, like a protein shake, it's going to be tough. Simple. It's going to be tough, right? Electrolytes, going to be tough. There's so many of them, right? This product was so unique that no one's been able to copy it. Literally one of them since like 1990. That's how unique it is, okay? So you got a unique product, you have a patented product, okay? That is not accessible on Amazon or not accessible from another company. No one else makes this type of product. That's number one. You have a product that actually is solving a big problem. All right. Go look at the stats. Weight, obesity, cholesterol, diabetes, blood pressure. That's more than 1 out of every 2 people. So more than 50% of the population. All right. So the thing is, you have to look at whatever you have. Yes, it's going to help people. Yes, we know it helps people. But is there a market for it? Bro, the market's huge. The market's huge. And it's just continued to increase and increase month after month, year after year. So think about it. So you have a market that is just growing. All right. So that's number 2. Number 3, and this is a big key point, is that timing. I understand timing. And I understand timing because of real estate. I got into pre-construction when nobody saw it. All right. A lot of the success I had, I worked hard. I did, I literally worked like every single day. Right. But timing was on my side. I got in the game when there was no game. I got in the game before people saw what the game was. And by the time others saw what it was kind of late, because the people that saw it before, that made a name for themselves in pre-construction, they controlled that market for 10 years. All right. And that's a fact. So I saw this and I looked at it like this. I said, okay, let's go look at Canada. Let me go ask 100 strangers. Do you know what unicity is? 99. Maybe when I started, all 100 would say no. Yeah. Nobody knew what it was. Yeah. Right. So I said, beautiful, perfect timing, right? Be there before the rocket ship takes off. Right. So those were 3 key points. And number 4, I treated it from day one as a business that was going to build residual income. And I just looked at it like this. I already got the real estate. I got the commissions. I own a bunch of properties. Great. Right. I also know the headaches that I've gone through to get to that point, the headaches that I still go through to run these assets and run these properties. So I looked at this business straight up as an asset that I could build to that level of what my real estate assets are, but I don't need the money that I needed in real estate. And once I understood that, that was it.
It's very exciting, man. You've developed something here that's definitely changed a lot of people's lives, not only physically and health-wise, but definitely helping people take their mental, their mindset, their wealth to a whole different level. All right, Bic, you have become one of the top leaders in Unicity, not only on a local level, but on a global level. How do I know that? We both went to Thailand, the GLIC, Global Leaders Innovation Convention. You were one of the guys that hit the stage in a room full of 30,000 people. And there was only less than 100 Canadians there. I want to say less than 60 Canadians there. And you dominated the room. When you were on stage, I'll tell you, it doesn't matter if you understood English or not. You were listening to this guy with the translators in. And I don't think you got there just purely off of willpower. I don't think you got there just by accident. I think there was a lot of discipline. There was a lot of motivation. There was a lot of high performance. There was a lot of doing things when you didn't feel like doing it. And that's what I want to talk about. I think that's a very, very, very key component to your success, because now that you've elevated yourself from just a guy that sells powder to a leader that's pushing millions of dollars of powder, you have to keep your whole team motivated. You have to keep them dialed in. Every single morning, I usually wake up and I already have a picture sent by you, and it's some sort of motivational talk. You've already had a couple of stories online. How do you maintain the discipline to continue to lead your team and do it day in, day out?
That's a very good question. And all those points that you just stated are 100% facts of what was required to get here, right? But, a lot of the stuff is by me learning from ups and downs, right? So before I got into this business, I had a lot of discipline. Discipline got me successful. Discipline is what got me to become, a multi-millionaire, okay? But discipline faded away, all right? So I'll talk about something that, people that know me, right? But there was a phase of my life where I lost discipline. Drinking every day, partying every day, etc. Use your imagination. Everything, all the dumb shit, all right? Doing everything. Chilling around people that are multimillionaires, right? So here I am, lost in the sauce. That's literally what I'm going to call it, because I was lost in the sauce, right? It's happened around COVID, right? I lost the discipline. And as I lost the discipline, I started to lose who I was, right? And I wasn't the guy that I was that got me to where I am. Okay, so I hit some rock bottoms, okay? And then I started just listening to people that have gone through the same shit, all right? A lot of celebrities, athletes, average people, business people. I started learning. And I learned one thing, okay? Is that the day you lose your discipline, the day you lose your habits, you start falling down. You're going to fall down real quick. And sometimes when you get down to the bottom, you might not even be able to pump yourself up to go back up. Right? So I never wanted to go back to that place. All right? I hit a bunch of rock bottoms. I straight up made a lot of mistakes, lost a lot of money, right? Even ended up partnering with the wrong people in real estate, lost my first M. Okay? I never ever thought that would happen to me. It happened to me. Why did it happen? Discipline. I lost discipline. I lost the habits. Okay? So going back to your question is that I've realized the power of discipline. All right? So motivation comes and goes. There's going to be days where you're pumped. I'm pumped, but brother, there's some days I'm not pumped. Yesterday, I was not pumped. I don't know what it was. I woke up not pumped. All right, I didn't want to go for a walk. I didn't want to go lift weights, but bro, I have to go. It's a non-negotiable, right? We had an event in our office last night. You were there, right? I had to host a meeting for another group of people where there's like 20 people. I didn't want to run it. I just didn't want to do it, but I had to tell myself, bro, you got to do it. You got to do it, right? So it goes back to doing things regardless of how you feel. You have to set things that are non-negotiable for you every single day. So things that I do every single day, and these are simple things that everybody can do that will transform your life, okay? Literally transform your life. Is read 10 pages a day. Read 10 pages of anything that is going to help you build a stronger mindset or a skill set in your business, okay? 10 pages every single day. Go for a walk. Go work out 30 minutes every day. Why? Because your body's going to start producing pretty much like your dopamine levels will go higher, endorphins, you feel better, your energy's better, okay? I do that no matter what. I visualize every day of the life that I want and the life that I'm going to get. I've already visualized like it's already there, okay? So I do that every single day. And another thing that I do is that I listen to something, or I pretty much listen to a lot of people that are way more successful than me. And all I'm doing is listening, and if at one point, 2 things stick out, boom. That's a game changer effect for me, right? And then I start applying it, right? So discipline is huge. So let's go back to your question. So what were some of the other points? Because people got to be disciplined.
How do you maintain your discipline, and how do you keep yourself leading now a large group on a daily basis?
Okay, so I maintain the discipline by never, ever going back to the low points of my life, right? Like literally looking myself in the mirror saying, what have I done to myself? Right? Like straight up, it was that bad, right? I mean, some people watching this will probably know because some of you guys were there with me, right? When I'm just drinking, you're drinking, we're partying, we're doing dumbass shit, just stupidity, right? But the reason why I'm so disciplined is because I don't want to go back there, and I'm not going to go back there, right? So the discipline is what keeps me on track. Simple as that, right? And then I look at anybody successful, they're all disciplined. All right. Anybody who's successful has discipline. And I'm not talking about successful for 1 year. Bro, there's a lot of guys that get successful for a year and they're, like I said, they're nowhere to be found 2-3 years later. It's easy to make quick money. Make money for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, right? So that requires discipline. And then how do I maintain that every day? Is because I don't want to go back to that point, but I know what discipline can do for you, can change your life. That's how I maintain it. And number 2 is that I realize that, me being a leader is essentially me sharing the things that I've gone through that work, that don't work, and trying to transfer that mindset to somebody so they don't have to go through all the problems that I have to go through, right? Like help them get there faster, right? So a lot of the leadership stuff is helping people get to their goals faster. A big thing is helping people believe. Man, a lot of people don't believe. They don't believe in themselves. Maybe it was upbringing. Maybe it was school. Maybe it was being a teenager. Maybe it was your friends talking shit to you. Whatever it was, you've programmed yourself to believe that you're not going to become successful. So I help people, scratch those thoughts out and reframe their brain that they can become whoever they put their mind to, right? So that's something that I do.
That's awesome, man. So now I feel like we got most of the points that I wanted to address. Now it's just going to be a real conversation. Bro, when people see you from the outside looking in, they might just see you from Instagram. Yeah. They just see you as this boss, drives a Rolls Royce, able to, hit the energy on the mic. And they don't really know you. It's true. Social media only gives you a glimpse of you, right? And some people might think that you're arrogant. You have an ego. You think you're better than everyone else. But now that I know you, I've met you, I've chilled with you. You're a very humble guy. You've controlled your mind. You have no ego. You make everyone feel great when you're around people. How have you developed the skill set of becoming very likable and allowing people to feel comfortable around you? Because on social media, you may not come off as that guy that you can just walk up to.
Yeah,
I think the first time I walked up to you, I was like, yo, fuck, what do I do, yo? And I just, fuck it. I'm just rip it. I mean, say what up, right? How have you developed this approachable and personable personality?
Yeah. You know what? It's actually, what you said is right, because a lot of people will come up to me like, yo, bro, I thought you were like going to be like a mean guy or something, this and that, right? I guess that's the image on social media, but in reality, I'm not, right? Yeah. But how I've built it is, bro, just treat people like people. Yeah. People are people, right? I just remind myself of who I was when I was 18, who I was when I was a kid. I was a regular kid that had nothing, right? And I just happened to meet the right people that guided me, that taught me, right? So I just treat people like people, right? I'm a guy that's just like, now that you get to know me, is like, I want everybody to win, right? I'm high energy, but like, I just don't really care to flex. Even though like people can say, yeah, you're wearing a nice watch, yeah, you're driving a nice car, bro, but I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me, because the young Bikram always wanted this, right? So you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like that's just the mindset I have, bro. Stay humble. I've met people that are way more successful than me that are so humble. I've met people more successful than me that are not humble, right? And guess what? They, deep down inside, some of these people that are very wealthy that are not humble, they have some internal problem, bro. Like they're not happy with themselves or certain things in their life, right? So what I've realized is like, I don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be that person, right? I want to be remembered that I actually made a difference in people's lives.
100%. I think one thing that I learned from you is constantly visualize the person that you want to become and become so obsessed with that guy.
Yeah.
And I know you talk about it every day. And I'm sure people are sitting at home wondering,
yeah,
what does Bick imagine himself as in 5 years? What do you play? I know you do this every day.
Yeah.
The music goes in and you close your eyes and you do your breathing exercises.
Yeah. I mean,
what's that movie that plays in your brain?
The movies is a bunch of things, man. I mean, a few things in the movies, I'll be honest with you guys, is to 10x this business, right? To take it to a certain amount of income per month, every single month, right? It's not 7 figures, bro. I want to turn this into a 9 figures, right? And I know I'm going to do it. It's going to happen straight up, right? I know it's possible. So that plays in my head, right? What else plays in my head is like being able to chill here with you right now, looking at Manraj and be like, yo, you down to go to Miami? We don't got to hop on a flight. Jet's ready. Mm-hmm. Shit like that, right? I visualize pulling up with my car, parking it, jet's ready, hopping the jet. What time is it? It's not even 5:30. I'll be there for dinner, right? Stuff like that, right? I already see it happening. It's going to happen, right? I see certain things with my personal family, right? With my parents, right? With my dad, my mom, my brothers, right? Lifestyle. My dad's going to win the election. Like things like that. Like I see these things, right? I want these things, these are the things, right? Before I never spent time on me. So I'm like now being the best version of me, like being fit, right? From a guy that was 285 pounds. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight, but I got more weight to lose, bro. Right? At the end of the day, the products got me to where I am. But now, at the end of the day, I got to do more work, right? I got to eat cleaner, right? So I want to be the best version of me, right? And another thing is that, back in the day, I always thought like, just keep, I don't know how to say this in a way where people understand, but I want to be in a way where your cash flow is so high that nothing can impact it. And I learned this right now. The real estate market economy has taken such a big hit. All right. I've seen people that had like 200 million 2 years ago, wiped out. They're right here in our pocket, bro. Right here in Brampton, right? You probably know some of them too. All right, I know their stories because I've met with them. I've seen what's happened, right? Have I taken hits? Absolutely, bro. I've taken hits. I've lost money in real estate right now, right? But what I've learned from this process is to never put yourself in a position where something outside of your control, okay? So the economy, the banks, all this type of stuff outside of your control can literally damage you that much, right? So what does that mean? Is to be so cash flow rich, so many multiple streams of income, no high debt leverage, right? Like these are things that, people are going through right now. They're worth a lot of money, but their debt's to the top. The money mean nothing, right? So I visualize myself not having any of that in the next 5 years type of thing,
5 years from now, I'm sure you played this in your brain. What car do you drive?
Yo, I don't even know. I'll be honest, man. I haven't played that because I've had so many cars in my lifetime now, right? I've been pretty lucky.
Do you feel like you've hit your car goals, or does it elevate? Do you get into Bugattis, or what does the brain do once you're in the Rolls Royce?
I got two of my boys that are like my business partners on a different business, right? Shout out to Amrit and Karan if you're watching. They started Ungli, right? Ungli, you probably seen it. You see that Boston Pizza, Denny's everywhere, right? Every time I'm with them, they always say, "Yo, Billy's," and I'm like, Billy's, and all they say is like Bugatti boys, right? Like, each of us Bugattis, right? So I mean, Bugatti's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, right? But is it something that I really care about? Not really. I don't. I'll be honest, right? Like I've been fortunate enough to have all the cars. I love them, but it's like it's not everything, right? I want a quality of life. I want peace. I don't want stress. Like I don't want bad stress, right? I don't mind stress, but I don't want fucking dealing with shit just to be like problem, right? So I'm more focused on a better quality of life. But I definitely see a private jet. That's one thing I want, right? I want it because why not?
100%. I think we've had a great conversation. I think I'm going to end it off with something spiritual. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Tell me some roles that God has played in your life.
He's given me a lot of second chances.
Nice. It's the one person that can't judge you, right?
Yeah.
Holds it down at all times, right?
Giving me a lot of second chances. There's one person in this room that probably knows about, but I've gone through a lot of shit in my life, right? Like there's a lot of things a lot of people don't know, right? There's people that are close to me and people that are, some people know, right? I've gone through a lot of ups and downs. I've been fortunate enough to be given second chances to just go out there and not make the same mistakes, right? I believe in God because, God is everything, right? I'd be like, God gives you what you have. God can take it away, right? And then I also believe like God gives everybody a special gift. All right, you got a gift. I got a gift. Everyone's got a gift. Once you find what your gift is, right, it's on you to make sure that you actually go and make an impact with your gift.
100%, bro. 100%. I think that was a great conversation, bro. Before we wrap up this conversation, the mic is right there. The camera is right there. If there's any message that you want to send to the world, the mic is now yours, bro.
Honestly, the biggest thing that I'll say is, listen, believe in yourself no matter what, because before anyone else believes in you, you got to believe in yourself. All right? Don't let the naysayers, don't let the people that doubt, that hate, don't let them get in your head. Don't let them protect your mind, okay? Another thing that I'll say is that when you do start making your money, because you will, all right, don't fall into the traps that I fell into, which is, wrong crew, wrong people, just drinking, partying, doing all that dumb shit, right? That's the shit that's going to slow you. That's the shit that will destroy you, right? It's fun. I get it. You want to have your fun, do your thing, but do not fall into that traps because it will take everything away from you, right? So that's what I'll say, because when money comes, it gives you a lot of options, bro. You can do a lot of things. You can do good with it. You can do bad with it.
100%.
Right?
100%, man. What a great conversation, bro. Truly appreciate your time. You dropped a lot of value for me. I was just here being an open sponge, just trying to take in everything. I hope that everyone that's listening is just an open sponge and they're going to be able to take in all this information. But until next time, man, thank you so much for your value. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you on the winner's table, baby.
Let's go, baby. Thank you.
Let's go. Boom.